Hey y'all, welcome to episode 2 of Foodie Fun with Sid. Today we're going to bake protein double chocolate chip banana bread and then your regular double chocolate chip banana bread. I'm going to put my little bit of spin on both, and so you see those, and we're going to make them together here with all my assortments. So I'll walk you through my ingredients first, how we're going to bake it, and how much time you'll need to get everything together. So ingredient number 1 for our protein, it's going to be here, your Evogen Isoject. I'm using the chocolate peanut butter flavor. Then we're going to have your maple syrup. I use sugar-free. You're going to have your avocado oil, banana cream extract. I'm using banana cream instead this time. I used vanilla last time. You're going to need baking soda, Hershey's cocoa, baking powder, almond flour, coconut flour, cream cheese flavored chips, chocolate chips, 3 eggs, and 3 bananas. The browner the better, so you want to make sure you get them really, really brown and get ready to go there. Alright, first step, we're going to peel the bananas. Get them nice and open. You're going to drop these into your oversized bowl. I'll leave the wrappings here. I'll clean up when I am done. So I'll get them all nice and soft and ready to go. Super, super ripe. Work these open. This is going to be your first step. After this, I'm going to mash these up with the fork. Then I'll add all of my other ingredients. And then blend, mix everything up. And that'll be it. Alright, so we're going to take this fork, mash them all up. Like you're kind of making baby food. Get it real smushy, smushy. You can leave it a little bit chunky if you want to. I'm going to get mine nice and flat. Get all the big chunks out. Shouldn't take too long to do. Alright. This is step 1. Got that going. After this step, I'm going to go ahead and crack my eggs. All 3 of the eggs. I use cage-free eggs. They're different colors now. Doesn't matter. Gonna crack those babies up. Throw them in the bowl. Get much better at my egg cracking, I will say. Get all that. And then throw that in here. Okay. So now we have our eggs added, whole eggs. Okay. I like to keep paper towels nearby so I can get the yolk off of my hands. From here, we're going to do 1/4 avocado oil. You can switch that out with coconut oil. You can do whatever you want to do. I got this brand here. I'm going to do 1/4 of that. Grab my little measuring cup. Hold it over. Avocado oil in. Boop. Drop it in there. I'll keep this on standby just in case I need that for another one of my measurements. Next up, we have 1/4 maple syrup. So I'm using my sugar-free version. You can use your standard maple syrup. Doesn't really matter. Whatever floats your boat. I'm going to measure this out. Same one. Boop. Drop that on in. This is your sweetener. So I don't add sugar to majority of my baked goods. So you won't need to either. If you're watching kind of your sugar levels, this is going to be your healthier version of your standard banana bread. It's going to be pretty much dairy free. I added in the cream cheese, so you don't have to add that. You can add in anything else that kind of gives you the punch you want. Okay, so I'm going to mix that a little bit. From there, we're going to go 2 tablespoons of my banana cream extract. And I said tablespoon. I always mix this up. It's teaspoon. 2 teaspoons. Smells delicious. Dropping that in there. Number 2. Boom. Alright, so first time I made this, I used vanilla. So it's going to be interesting to see what this version tastes like this go around. From that point, we're gonna add in 1 1/3 cup almond flour. 1 1/3 cup here. I'm gonna open my bag, scoop my big cup on in there. Matter of fact, I'll probably just pour it, scratch that. All right. And then of course you wanna make sure your hands are nice and clean. I'm very accurate with my measuring, so I like to get that flattened out. Any extra, drop in there. First cup goes in. Now I'm going back for my 1/3 cup. Little sprinkle in there. You can also experiment with what it tastes like if you switch the almond flour out for oat flour. It gives a little bit of a different taste. I've done them all so far. I don't necessarily have a favorite, but this recipe was one of my favorites. All right, after we do our almond flour, we're gonna go for 1/4 cup of our coconut flour. What I am gonna do is rinse this out real quick, come back, dry it out, and then add in my flour. Next up, we have our 1/4 coconut flour. I got the organic version, gluten-free. Get whatever floats your boat. I'm just giving you the base guidelines of what I use. I love the smell of coconut flour. It smells amazing. Jump that in there. Then we're gonna add in our cocoa. All right, I'm making one batch. When I'm doing my protein batch, all I'm gonna do is save some of the batter and then add in from there. So we're gonna do 1/4 here, scoop out a little bit, All right, dumping our cocoa in. From there, we're adding in 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon baking powder. So go here and here. Keep mine in a little baggie. So again, using some of your same measurement tools, I'm gonna quickly go and rinse this out, which I use for my extract, and then I'll come back. All right, now I'm adding in my 1 teaspoon of baking powder, self-rising. I'm not gonna do too much. I wanna level that out a little bit. Scoop that off some. Dump that in there. Going into my baking soda, scooping it out. Dump it in here. Last step is, well, one of the last steps, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my teaspoon of salt. Now, when I use my salt, I always use pink salt, whether it's cheat meals, whatever it is, I always use my pink salt. So close this up. Go over here. Cleaning my space up a little bit. All right, going in for 1 teaspoon pink salt. Scooping that up, level it out, boom, boom. Dump that in here. All right, next step. Now, the mistake I made the first time is the recipe that I was Googling and mixing together didn't call for me to use chocolate chips inside and outside. It just had them use it inside. Or I think I actually sprinkled them on the top. So what I'm gonna do is make sure I have my chocolate chips. I'm gonna add these in now. I'm gonna just drop the rest of this back. I'll have a little bit left from the cookies I made. I'm gonna drop the whole bag in there. So that means the chocolate chips will now be in the batter. I'm doing semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can do dark chocolate chips, milk chocolate, doesn't matter. So I'm dumping these all in here. That's the last step for inside. You can add in 1/4 cup of walnuts, pecans, whatever you desire. So I'm gonna do a mix of cream cheese, total cream cheese, chocolate, double chocolate chip vibe. So at the end of the day, the full recipe will call for a cream cheese, double chocolate banana bread. So now, mix all these bad boys up together. Get my batter going really good. I have my muffin sheets out. I also took my cake pan out too, just because I have a little bit left over. So I'm gonna mix this up first. Once I mix this up, I'll leave some over and add in my protein. Get it nice and blend it up. Scraping the sides, folding everything in. Blending in that cocoa powder, get it nice and thick. Smells amazing already. Now, while I'm doing this, I already got my oven set. Making sure that it's ready to go and warmed up. When it comes time to stick everything in. All right. So your batter consistency should look a little bit like this. Nice and thick, kind of good little bit to it. Almost makes you want to eat it by itself. All right, so you make sure everything is folded in there. All the chocolate chips are moving. All your ingredients are ready to go. And then we get ready to pour it into the pan. And then I'll show you the next step of adding my Evagen chocolate peanut butter protein to the protein batch. All right, that should be all blended. All right, so now next step, I have my batter sitting here. I have my cupcake fillers there for my muffins. Then I'm going to line this with parchment paper, or I'm going to spray it with my olive oil cooking spray. Let that sit for a little bit. Then I'm going to take a spoon and scoop little dollops into the cupcake pan. And then the rest I'll blend in my Evagen protein and then put it into this pan. I'm choosing to use a spoon because I don't have one of those little ice cream scoopers, because when I eat ice cream, I just eat the pint with a spoon by myself. So I'm going to get that. I'm going to scoop what would be a dollop into our little muffin pans. Just level it out a little bit. I like big foods, so I'm going to make sure it's pretty decent height. It will rise, of course, and just try to make them as even as possible. Either way, they will be eaten, so I don't really care if they're even or not, long as they taste good. And then what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to add my cream cheese chips to the top, and that will be it. So all in all, you see how fast this was. Quick little family recipe you can throw together. You can switch a lot of things out. I choose to, when I bake, not to use too much butter or anything like that. So I often switch things out for avocado oil or coconut oil, any of those different oils that are a little bit healthier. And it give me good fat versus overly saturated fat. So I look for those things. But you can cook it a regular way too. Do whatever floats your boat. All right, get my last little bit of dollop in there. I think some of these can be a little bit bigger. We're going to add a little bit more. Get a little bit more banana in this one. Make sure they're nice and high when they come out. And then when I have the leftover batter, that's when I'm going to go ahead and add in the protein for the protein section. So I'll have these. I'll save these for me and my husband on our cheat day, which will be Saturday. So I'll save these. So now I have about this much batter left. I'm going to go in with my Evagen protein. If you want to do a high protein, double chocolate, banana bread. I'm going to add in 1 scoop. 1 scoop is 25 grams. Then from there, mix that in. And this will go into the pan. I'm going to mix this in, make it nice and thick. I'll lay this down. So when you're cooking these on 350 degrees, 35, 40 minutes. Of course, you know, depending on the size of whatever you're baking, whether it's a little bit of muffin or a cake, it will take a little bit longer or a little bit less time. So these will probably take closer to 25 minutes, but I'll watch them. I want them really cooked through, and then you can do the toothpick test at the end of that. So now I'm going to just scrape the rest of this into the bowl. And then once it's in here, I'm going to level it out and add the last topping. If I wasn't on a diet right now and it was cheat day, I would go ahead and just lick the rest of this out. But still got to wait. That's the only difference between baking on a diet, because you can't really taste anything until it's already cooked. And according to Gordon Ramsay, you're supposed to taste what you're cooking. Alright, I'm trying to get the rest of this out. Mama told me don't waste no food, so straight the bowl. Alright, that should be good in there, baby. Alright, now I'm going to take my last little piece and I'm going to drizzle a couple of cream cheese kisses on there. You can make them pretty if you want. I don't particularly care. I like to at least get it to where when I'm feeding whoever's going to be eating these, besides myself, They get a dollop of the flavor in every bite. I try to spread them out just a little bit, but not overdo it because I don't like anything that's overly sweet. Whoops, almost ripped that whole bag open. Kind of did. And then you just spread these babies out. And then you can go back through with your spoon and spread them out a little bit more if you need be. And these are just your cream cheese chips. Don't want to do too many. That should be pretty much good enough. Then I'll come over here. That's the protein one is done. I'm going to do a couple on the top of here of the regular ones. Just so that when they come out the oven, it should be little white little sprinkles of cream cheese going through the banana bread. Almost falling all out. Alright, this one needs a little bit more love. Oh, they're falling. Alright. And that should be it. Ooh, this one looks a little chintzy. So, now they're gonna bake. And I'll show you what to look at the end. And that is it. So again, this is pretty much a dairy-free dessert, dairy-free little snack you can have with your families. Make it for your kids, make it for your husband, whoever you want to make it for. And it can be fully vegan depending on which ingredients you want to switch out. Of course, you would take out the eggs and do a different supplement, things like that. So find what suits you and your dietary needs. It's definitely gluten-free, pretty much dairy-free if you take out the cream cheese and the chocolate chips, but I got something in there. But make it suit your needs, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Okay, so here are the muffins. And then I just started slicing the protein, Evogen protein, banana bread, and I'll put that on this plate here. Get into the chocolate on the insides, nice and moist. And just like that, we got our double chocolate cream cheese, banana bread muffins. And we have our triple chocolate cream cheese protein cake slices. So here's episode 2 with Foodie Fun with Sid. Hope you enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe, and you see more recipes coming from me, more cheat meals, more foodie fun.